Hey guys, I guess we're going live. I guess we don't do an intro. Maybe this is the cold open. This is the cold open. Hi guys. Welcome to this super fast edition of Outside Shots. This is your boy Saul. As always, he is the Bears fan. As his beloved Chicago team is taking on the Vikings tonight on Monday Night Football. But EJ, how have you been? And I hope all is well.
I know my voice is dirt. I haven't had my voice constantly for the last week. It's a little disturbing because my voice, because do you understand something? My voice is like,
first of all, before you even start talking, the minute you start licking your lips, I almost want to just like turn the mic away because I already know something crazy's coming out of your mouth. Go ahead.
Oh, my voice is like, it's like a drug to people that hear it. So when they hear the rough, edgy, I've never smoked in my life, people, okay? All right, so it's not a smoker's voice. This allergy, man, that haboob, whatever that damn thing was, that sand thing, man, ever since that thing happened, and we've had a couple more since then, my freaking allergies have been out the window.
Wow.
And so, for 3 days I couldn't talk. So I'm a lot better. Unfortunately for me, this is the summertime for Sirius XM NBA radio, and I'm hosting. So everybody can check it out, 10 a.m. to 1 today. We're talking about the Hall of Fame induction. But anyway, so I got to host for 3 hours after I get off with you. So, yeah, EJ's got to push through it. Later on tonight. Later on tonight.
Better get a lot of honey tea and lemon. Yeah. We got to get into it real quick because we only got 30 minutes on this show. We're going to keep it pretty abbreviated. We got a lot of stuff to get into. And then we're also going to talk about, some of our favorite brands in the middle of it. So first of all, there's two major topics we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to talk about Steve Ballmer and, the side hustle we'll call for Kawhi Leonard. And then we'll talk about later in the show, we'll talk about Richard Jefferson's comments about Charles Barkley being part of a super team, despite the fact that Charles Barkley hates super teams. So that's what's ahead. First, we'll start off with the side hustle part of this equation. Steve Ballmer denying allegations that the Clippers are in the wrongdoing at all, despite the fact that Kawhi Leonard got paid $28 million, basically. Actually, he got paid $21 million. $7 million of it is still owed from an organization, a startup, or whatever you want to say, that Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into. And the labeling basically was that there was nothing required of Kawhi Leonard. Like, he didn't have to show up to work. He didn't have to do anything for this other organization. So my question is first, we have a brand. If we want to start laundering money to players, listen, I'm only one phone call away, Matt Ishbia. We can just go through us, and all they have to do is talk for an hour, and you can pay them as much as you want. I'm kidding. But with that being said, how shocked or not shocked are you about this, EJ?
I was shocked because, let's give a little brief history here. The NBA over the last, my 40 years, I'll just say my 40 years, all due respect to all the greats in the past, Oscar Robertson, Spencer Haywood, all those guys that had to fight, the Union Incorporated, and try to get the best for the players, and going through collective bargaining to be able to get the best deal. And at that point in time, when I first came in the league, collective bargaining was so on one side for the owners. I mean, we were locked in. We couldn't become free agents easily. It was just very difficult. Coaches were making more than players. Like, it was just so on one end, it was just not fair. But over the years, the league has obviously given in, and now players are getting 51% of the profits, right? So the growth has been unreal. And one of the things that's come out of it, Saul, is what? Parity. Parity. So you look now, like 7 straight years has been a different champion. And not one of those champions were able to go back to the finals to try to repeat. That tells you that we have parity. That means that players, you can't stack teams as easily as you could unless you pay a price, right? There's a lot of things now that you can't do. And so for the league to do all of that and go back and forth with the players, the salary cap is important. Like, Matt Ishbia felt that sting, right? And being in the second apron and being limited to the players that we could go get. So a lot of teams weren't able to do that. So if you have one team that in a quiet way is circumventing the cap, then they may be able to go sign a player or offer them a little bit more than, say, the Suns would have, because the Suns were under the second apron. But if they're having shenanigans on one side and they're both battling for, say, a mid-level player, and the Clippers can offer a little bit more because they have more money because they're not in the second apron, right? Now, all of a sudden, they have an advantage. So that's why this is important. And that's why the league is not going to play with this. And look, Steve Ballmer, who I think is one of my favorite owners, he's unbelievable. His energy, his love for what he does, his craft, to be the richest man in the world, but still have the passion to be able to just still work hard and chase and build a new arena and all of that, right? You can't tell me that you're naive now. That is the biggest. See, that to me drives me nuts. All of a sudden now, one of the richest men in the world, a man that decided to leave Harvard, Bill Gates talked him into it. Now, you know how hard it is to get into Harvard. And all of a sudden, you telling your parents you want to leave? He left. And he made the right decision. He's one of the richest people in the world. He's worth a ton. Okay? And you're going to tell me after they start talking to him about, what happened, this and that. Oh, I got duped. I didn't know anything about it. They defrauded me $50 million. And you're one of the brightest men. Like, you're the one that's behind Microsoft. Now you're dumb. I'm not going to even get into who that reminds us of, okay? We got to deal with every day. And the forgetful gene. And, oh, no, that's somebody else's fault. Oh, no, I didn't do that. That to me is just like the sign of the times now in this world. Well, the smart people have an out where they can all of a sudden be dumb, when most of the time they're calling people dumb because they're so rich and smart. Not buying it. Not buying it. I'm not buying it, man. Like, you cannot tell me $50 million to a company and and then they sign Kawhi, who's the quietest person on the face of the freaking earth, to endorse it. You wouldn't found the James Harden would have been better in that situation. Kawhi doesn't talk. You saw the video of him at the U.S. Open yesterday. He's sitting there like he just. I thought slob was gonna come out of his mouth after a second. They kept putting the camera. Come on, man.
So EJ, this is where I'm gonna go with this, right? Like, do you not think nobody else has done this to some degree? Like, what is the threshold, right? Like, what are we talking about? Like, for instance, I'm not listen, this is not based on anything outside of like me just having general knowledge about what Matt Ishbia's other, his main profession is, right? Like running a major mortgage warehouse. If Matt Ishbia was to offer a player a house on the side of, some type of big villa or something like that, like where's the cutoff here? If you position listen, the one thing we hear about LA and New York, the biggest things we hear about them are what? The advertising opportunities, the marketing out there is just on another level because all the major brands have a lot of headquarters in LA and New York. So positioning a player with another entity to be able to be a spokesperson for millions and millions of dollars, even though you're not on the hook for it, also is an advantage. What if it's some under the table kind of thing with that organization to get this person through the door, and we'll make sure your whistle's wet on the other side. Like, that's what I'm saying, is like, where is the threshold? Because you got to believe this isn't a one-off. There's just no way this is a one-off. Many billionaires are in the league. There's not any way this is just a one-off.
I know, but the salary cap kind of restricts it, though. Like, so the only reason I know
the framework of salary cap.
But listen to where I'm going with this. The only reason they're looking at Kawhi is because he didn't take the max. He didn't take the max. He took less. So, yeah, they'll look at Jalen Brunson in New York, who took less money. Yeah, they'll look at guys that took less money. Okay, I'm sure, and they've always been looking at those guys. All right, but Kawhi took the max. He didn't take it. So, yeah, that's why it looks sneaky. A lot of players in the league take the max. 98% of the players in the league, they take the max. So they don't have to do it. So that's excuse me, that's the problem. So, players that take less money for the good of the team to help the team go get more players, then they're going to be looked at from now on. But most players in the league take the max. So that's why it stands out like a sore thumb with a few guys, because only a few guys they'll take less money to go to a team. Those are the ones that, yes, acceptable, and you wonder what's going on, if they're just doing that just, for the good of the team, or if something else going on the side. Yeah, but this was egregious. I mean, this was like, okay, I take less money. I think it's $176 million extension, but to get it up to the 220, which would have been the max, you got to do something on the side so I can get the 50. And then the company goes under, and then the greed factor, because Kawhi about that money, man. Everybody about that money, but Kawhi really about that money. He about that money and not working hard in a sense. What I mean by hard, showing up all the time, okay, sitting down when he got a little boo-boo going on. This guy right here, he does more he gets more for less than any player in the history of the game. He really does. So the greed factor in him, he goes after that company for the extra $7 million that they owe him. If he had never done that, right, then Pablo Torre would not have seen it and would not have chased the story. So it's the greed of him and Uncle Dennis. Dennis Robertson is his uncle. They're about the money. Fine, you can be about the money. Everybody is. But at a high level like they are, they want everything. I mean, he got investigated years ago because he told Toronto that, the Lakers, he wanted a private plane. He wanted this. He wanted that. And Jeannie Buss supposedly said, no, not doing it. It's illegal. So they've been chasing this scenario forever. Okay, they did it to Toronto before they left. They played Toronto and the Lakers against the Clippers, knowing they wanted to go to the Clippers, but they negotiated with those two to force the Clippers to be able to do what they wanted. And then when he got there, he said, okay, to make the deal close, you got to trade for Paul George, or I'm not coming. I'm going to the Lakers. Okay, so he held them, and the Clippers gave up 5 draft picks. They gave up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. One of those draft picks was Jalen Williams. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. And so that's how all that happened. And Paul George is now in Philadelphia. So they have been doing this forever. And that's why the league is on top of it with them, because they have been chasing money on top of the salary cap, circumventing it. His uncle is not an agent. He's not an agent. Okay, but he's doing all the negotiating in behind an agent that's not doing anything. The agent is just a figure there, but Dennis Robinson's the one that's doing it. So, hey, look, it's their bed. They made it. And guess what? If the league finds them guilty, one, they can void Kawhi's contract. Right? He becomes a free agent and he can't re-sign with the Clippers. Two, they can take up to 5 first-round picks from them. All right? They can suspend the owner and they can suspend the GM. That's what they did in Minnesota when Joe Smith did the same thing. Okay? When they caught Minnesota circumventing the cap, and that's exactly what happened. Wow. So, look, you want to roll the dice? Go right ahead. But I'm not shocked. If I had to pick a person who would do it, it's Kawhi Leonard. It's Kawhi Leonard. He has done it consistently. And, to me, if they got caught, good. Good.
Okay.
Because sooner or later, they were going to get caught.
You heard it from EJ. I hope you get caught, quote unquote. We ain't going to get caught circumventing any cap because, listen, we just, we got to pay the bills. So we're going to talk about that right now. Folks, I've talked about Circle K a million times. You know where to go. Circle K is the best place to go get your gas, your drinks, your snacks, the whole 9 yards. You got to become a member of the Inner Circle app today by going to CircleK.com and downloading that Inner Circle app. It is a fantastic app that gives you all the hookups for a discounted fuel, which is 25 cents off per gallon for your first 5 fill-ups, and then you save another 3 to 5 cents after that. And then they have specialty fuel days. The list goes on. And on top of that, you can get text message alerts in terms of special prize giveaways that they're doing or specials that they're doing for fuel, drinks. You get discounts. You can get 79-cent Polar Pop, 99-cent Froster, the whole 9 yards. You know what it is. Right now, 3 Gatorades for $5. That's pretty good. And those are all 20 ounces, the big ones. So get yourself some Gatorade. Go get stocked up on all the deals today by downloading the Inner Circle app at CircleK.com/Inner Circle. On top of that, Branded Bills, baby. Branded Bills, listen, if you don't have a Branded Bills cap by now, you're just wrong. Like you might be the only one left in the state of Arizona that doesn't have a Branded Bills cap because they are elite. And they're so elite that not only are they in the Valley, they have spread across the country, Chicago, Philly, Denver, like all our major cities that we have shows at, all cop Branded Bills, and you should too. Listen, get yourself a nice Branded Bills cap. They have too many designs. They have too many different fabrics that you could use, breathable. They got the wool. They got the custom stuff. If you have a business and you need a cap, go to brandedbills.com. They will hook you up and they will create the whole look for you, and they'll let you choose what designs you want to go with for your branding. One-stop shop, you're all set to go. They also have apparel that you can get your hands on as well. Listen, they're a top to bottom Arizona-born business, and you should go support them by getting 15% off just by using promo code BBPHNX at brandedbills.com. Do so today. All right, before we wrap up the show, like I said, it was a really short, truncated show, but we wanted to get in and get out. EJ, your boy, Richard Jefferson, my guy, Richard Jefferson, my fellow Wildcat, had some interesting things to say about Charles Barkley's perspective on super teams and how he really hates what LeBron has done to the league. So here is his rebuttal.
Why do we always make it seem like LeBron is the first person to ever join up in NBA history?
Charles Barkley said the second apron exists because players are soft and want to team up.
Social media team, get ready. This is a clip. We're about to social this. Really quickly, I remember Charles Barkley got drafted to a team with Moses Malone, maybe Dr. J, and Maurice Cheeks. Then I remember Charles Barkley going to Houston, and then he teamed up with Akeem Olajuwon. And then Scottie Pippen was also there. That sounds like teaming up if I'm wrong, right? Hey, let's go to Shaq and Kobe. Does everybody remember when they recruited Gary Payton, who was still in his prime, and then they recruited Karl Malone? Do we remember that? The second all-time leading scorer to play power forward next to Shaq in his prime after they had won 3 out of the last 4 championships. So when we look at teaming up, he did it. He joined Olajuwon. And then Scottie Pippen came in. And now we're talking about the second Akron exists. Did we forget our history? His own history. And I love Charles. Charles is my icon, my idol, my big bro. There's not a person in this industry that I don't that I fucking fuck with more. But Charles, let's be honest. You literally joined a team with Akeem Olajuwon because he had won 2 championships. Sounds like, wow, that sounds like maybe LeBron going and joining D Wade. And then you brought in Scottie Pippen. Man, that sounds like Chris Bosh joining.
There's a retort here, but I mean, let's be real. I have said this as well. He's not wrong. He's absolutely not wrong. He got traded to the Rockets. They ended up getting Pippen, and he also left off Clyde Drexler. That was part of that crew as well. And somebody on this pod was also on that team. It wasn't me. So since you were there, why don't you talk about the super team that Charles Barkley was on, that you were also on?
Yeah, Charles. I mean, look, Charles is very opinionated. We know this. A very good friend of mine. I love him to death. But he's wrong on this. He really is. He's wrong on this. I've always pushed back on this mindset and this concept of, guys building a team. If they don't build a team, the GM is going to build a damn team. What is the freaking difference? I've argued this point forever. Like, what is the difference? And Richard is correct. Charles went to a Philadelphia team. All those guys that were in that picture, all Hall of Famers. Every one of them Hall of Famers. One of the most talented teams ever. So if you go to a team like that, why would you think about adding anybody else? The idea of building another team wouldn't even cross your mind, i.e. Larry Bird going to Boston. When you got Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson. You get my point? Why would he even think about it? Huh? Oh, Magic going to the Lakers, and you got Kareem. You draft James Worthy the next year. You had Bob McAdoo on that team. These are Hall of Famers, okay? You wouldn't even think about it. Like, that's not going to cross your mind because you're winning. The only thing, LeBron thought about it. And that's why I always push back on people, because he went to Cleveland, a notorious place for no free agency, all right? And he got his butt kicked his first 6-7 years, all right? Even though winning 50-plus games with the teams he had, even though going to the finals, he realized that he wasn't going to win a championship with this situation, all right? So what did he do? He said, hey, man, come join me in Cleveland. But Dwayne Wade said, I'm not going to Cleveland. Chris Bosh said, I'm not going to Cleveland. So he had to make a decision. So he went to Miami. Okay? So that's okay. Like, what is the difference in that? Like, the great Isaiah Thomas told me on my radio show one time. He said, hey, if we never won in Detroit, I probably would have left. And I guarantee you, people can kick back on MJ all they want. If MJ had kept getting his butt kicked in Chicago, he went 7 years, couldn't win it. He would have left. They all leave. That's why I don't get it. Even Lillard, they say, oh, you'll never leave. You'll never leave. He left Portland. I don't want to hear it. Like, you're going to do that. If Charles went to Houston. He went to, first of all, Charles pushed for a trade, right, to get the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix team, the team that I was on, I left the year before, we were winning 50, 55 games for the last 3-4 years. We went to 2 Western Conference finals. Okay? We had extreme amount of talent on that team. I don't know if Charles would have wanted to go to Phoenix if we didn't have that talent. Right? So he okayed the deal.
Yeah.
And then the deal to Houston. He okayed that deal. That deal had Hakeem and had Clyde Drexler on that team. Yeah. Exactly. And then the following year, okay, we had Kevin Willis. We had myself. We had a talented team. We were favored to go to the finals. Unfortunately, Utah beat us. And then we signed Scottie Pippen. So yeah, like Charles is not the right person to be saying this. Like the person that should be saying this is Giannis, right? Giannis, okay? Jokic to an extent, right? So those are the two guys that can probably say something, but not to the level that LeBron had to say it because he had nothing.
I will retort a little bit here. Okay, in those scenarios, every single one of them that you named, players were drafted by those organizations outside of, and I know Dwayne Wade was the Miami Heat as well, but the way LeBron went about it, because LeBron was the star, right? To go to this to go leave his organization, which usually you're accruing the talent to you, right? But he opted to leave a city that he grew up in, which made it a big deal. And then the way he went about it made it even worse, right? Like, and I think he's even admitted that, like, I probably didn't need to do the decision and all this other stuff. Like,
he raised $15 million for kids. That is so egregious when people say that. Look,
let me finish. But listen, like, again,
$15 million.
Hey, listen, the parade about not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. That wasn't raising money for kids. No, man, don't do that.
They should have won. Hold on, Saul. They should have won 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the talent that they had. The cockiness.
I know all athletes are cocky. I understand that, but like, it's so tremendously disrespectful to the rest of the league to think that you could just throw two other guys that are all pro or all, Hall of Fame caliber players on your roster, and you're just going to automatically win, because clearly that didn't happen.
So what was he supposed to say? Oh, we hope to win. If he had said we hope to win, hold it,
my brother in Christ. Did they have to have a big parade about it?
So if he would have said we hope to win, people would have pushed back on that, because they would have said, oh, really? You just stacked the team with you, Wade, and Bosh. And so now, you trying to cover yourself on the other end in case you lose?
You could just say, I expect to win championships. You don't have to say, not one, not
really,
two, not seven,
oh,
man, that was egregious.
The greatest athlete ever, Muhammad Ali, before every fight, said, I'm going to win. I'm the greatest.
He's one man, and he's literally got to put his money where his mouth is.
He's a team. Look, Muhammad Ali, look, it's a team. It ain't just one person. Boudini was over in the corner. Boudini was like, Rumble, champ, Rumble. It's a team. It's not an individual.
The team ain't getting in the ring against George Foreman. Don't give me that.
Listen,
the team
that's right.
Punches.
But they get them ready. But they got him ready. And he basically went on edge against George Foreman, a guy that everybody thought would kill him. He said, I'm going to kick his butt. So I had nothing. Look, the parade thing, I'll give you that. I'll give you the parade. Okay? But for them to say they're going to kick butt, okay, that means they got to back it up.
I mean,
like, look, dude, I talk junk all the time. Larry Bird taught me that. All these guys talk junk. They walk out there like, you guard me? Go wear your ace out. Like, that's what you do. So for people to like push back on that part, that's silly.
That's not the only part, though. It's the way
I said the parade. I said the parade.
So many guys have talked trash without having to throw a big ass pyrotechnic show to do so.
You keep going back to the parade.
A little bit, I told you. A little less, be a little low key. Listen,
I told you.
Your argument, Eddie, is as flawed as your internet because it is all over the place. So
that's fine. Because look, when you bring up his name as you would bring up Jordan's name, it's haters on both sides. So it's always going to be response. It's always going to be responses to anything that any of those two comes up with, because they're the ones that's considered the greatest of all time. And so people going to argue their point and rip the other. Okay, we know this. It goes on all the time. But the point is, I don't think he did anything wrong with the decision because he raised money. Okay? I don't have no problem with that. If he had gotten paid to do it, different animal. But he raised money. Okay.
He's LeBron James. He could have raised money anyway.
But that's fine. But everybody wanted to know. They do it for college kids, and you on here promoting it all the time. College kids sit in front of people. Oh, we got 8 hats. It's no difference. It's no different.
No, don't belong to any one of those schools yet.
It's no. LeBron didn't. He was a free agent.
Oh,
he was a free agent. Saul.
DJ.
See, Saul. You cannot. This is the one thing you can't do. And I try to remind people of this. You cannot do this. When your contract is up, you are a free agent, man. Like you can do whatever the hell you want. And in this country, that's what everybody does. When they're not under contract, they can go anywhere they want. This is America. You have a right to your freedom. He was not under contract. He was a free agent. If he had been still under contract, like Dame Lillard was, and he wanted out, that's a different animal. He was a free agent. Every time he left, he was a free agent. He exhausted his contract. He had a right to do whatever he wanted to do.
Okay.
Bottom line, man. And we can't ignore that. So he didn't do anything wrong. He was a free agent to pick whatever he wanted to go. That's how he did it. It's a hypocritical nature of people that want to just want to say, "Oh, you can't do that."
The whole thing could have been dealt with a lot better.
But in your eyes, it could have been.
Eyes.
And I give you the parade down in Miami. I give you that. I give you that party. I say,
we're gonna go up to this Air Force base to the Special Operations Command because it's time to go to war. Get the out of here with that BS.
But Saul, they did go to war. Saul, they went to the finals every year.
No,
Saul, they went to the finals every year.
That's fine.
They went to the finals. So they did live up to their opportunity to do what they said they were going to do. They just got beat twice. That's all. They got beat twice. But they did live up to it. They lived up to it, man. So we can't, you can get on them for losing to Dallas. You can get on LeBron for kind of, shrinking. Like he and Dwayne Wade was not cohesive. Okay, you can get on them for that. When they lost to San Antonio was just damn good. I mean, they were just good. Okay, they kicked their butt. So they went to the finals, dude. You can't push back on that.
Okay. All right. That's time, folks. We appreciate you all for joining us on this episode of Outside Shots. You can follow him at JumpShot8 at Twitter and on Instagram. You can follow me at Saul_Bookman on Twitter, on Instagram. You can follow the PHX Sun Show later on this evening.
Nice for you to be back home. Are you back home yet?
No, I'm still in Philly. You see this Eagles.
Why don't you stay in Philly? Why don't you go? Why don't you become a 76er fan while you're out there?
No, I'm not doing that because you know what? I'm not jumping ship like your boy LeBron, Eddie. I stay true to my team and my hood. That's what I do.
What did LeBron do? He went back to Cleveland and got them a chip. They went to the finals 4 straight years.
I said we all silly like the mayor.